Okay, Nana? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So mature cell you get at the end, that may then undergo senescence, aging, of course, followed by death. Flowchart, there can be a question straight away on this, Nana. Like they label it as A, find out what is A, as B, find out what is B. In the flowchart, in the same order, you should memorize them. Plants also exhibit, during the development, plants also exhibit plasticity. So within development, subheading plasticity.
Sir, can you please move the board towards your right, sir?
Towards the right. Okay, Nana. Be okay, I think now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Okay.
So, what is meant by plasmatic growth?
Protoplasmic contents increase, no, Nana.
Okay, sir.
Followed by cell division. So, on one side, it will give rise to meristematic cell. On the other side, it will convert into a permanent tissue, followed by senescence, death. Actually, this followed by this, followed by this, followed by this. Instead of writing in a row, alternate, all should be taken as in a row.
Sir, after cell elongation,
Should be cell differentiation,
okay.
cell maturation. So you get mature cell, which will undergo aging followed by death.
Yes, sir.
The order in which events occurring during development. So next, subheading plasticity. Is a kind of flexibility, Nana.
So, once again, can you repeat that order?
Plasmatic growth, then cell division. In the process, one may remain as meristem, other may undergo cell elongation, followed by cell differentiation, followed by cell maturation. So you get mature cell, which will then undergo senescence and death.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Is a kind of flexibility. It is ability to form different structures depending on the conditions or environment is called plasticity. Example of this is heterophily. Plasticity is best exhibited as heterophily.
So your video turned off.
Yes, beta? Oh, sorry.
Video got turned
Right.
off.
You understood. Best exhibited as heterophily. PHYLLI nana. Means production of two or more types of leaves on the same plant. Production of two or more types of leaves on the same plant is heterophily. And this heterophily may be due to environment or due to different stages of development. So heterophily may be developmental or environmental. Environmental, due to the environment. Developmental, at different stages of development. So first let us see developmental heterophily. Developmental heterophily. First let us take production of two or more types of leaves at different stages of development. It is production or formation of two or more types of leaves at different stages of development. Is called developmental heterophily. Example 1, cotton, coriander, larkspur, it can even be dolichos, bean plant, it can even be Australian acacia. Have you heard about Australian acacia, Nana? That was example of phylloid. Part of leaf other than lamina, it becomes green photosynthetic. It is called phylloid, exerophytic adaptation. Petiole modified into phylloid here. So in this plant, young leaf you take is bipinnately compound like this. With leaflets on secondary axis, what do you call this as petiole? Is the case with young leaf. Same leaf when become old, adult leaf, mature leaf. What happens, Nana? Petiole becomes leaf-like. So these fall off. So this is phylloid. Nothing but originally it was petiole. So this petiole has become phylloid. See? Young leaf one type, mature leaf another type. Here in these cases, young leaf is like this. Young leaf, juvenile stage, we otherwise call it. Juvenile or young leaf. Adult leaf or mature leaf, you see what happens. When young, one type, when old, another type. In cotton, coriander, larkspur, and bean. Australian acacia also young one type, mature leaf another type. Difference. That is developmental heterophilic. Environmental heterophily due to the environment in which they live. The second type. Is heterophily due to the environment. two or more types of leaves due to the environment in which they live. Example 1, ranunculus, commonly called buttercup. For example, in first year also for you, Nana, in ecology chapter, amphibious plant we were calling partly in water, partly aerial, partly submerged, partly aerial. Another example is limnophila, heterophila. Limnophila, heterophila. Limno means what, Nana? Freshwater ecosystem. So it lives in attraction with freshwater ecosystem, pond, lake. That's why this generic name is Limnophila, Phila, in attraction. Having heterophily, so heterophila species name Phylla. Phyll is leaf related. Phil is in attraction. In them, submerged part of the stem produces leaves with dissected lamina like this. Aerial leaves normal. Submerged part. Leaves of submerged part. Of stem are dissected into hairy structures. Whereas leaves of aerial part of the stem intact. In fact, these were called amphibious plants. Remember, Nana, partly in water, partly aerial. Amphibious aquatic plant. If you remembered from ecology chapter of first year, hydrophytes were different types, Nana. Remember? Free-floating aquatic plants, submerged rooted aquatic plants, submerged suspended aquatic plants, like that. A type was amphibious plants, which are partly in water, partly aerial. Two examples, ranunculus, buttercup. Ranunculus also was example to you, if you remembered. For Hemianatropus ovule, Primula ranunculus. Buttercup, the common name. Only that much is emphasized under this heading, development, Nana. Just a last aspect is conditions of development, nothing but factors influencing development, which are again extrinsic and intrinsic, same like for growth, Nana. Conditions influencing development. Again, two types. External, which are also called extrinsic. Internal or intrinsic, same like for growth, Nana. Can you guess and tell me what were external conditions influencing development? Include sunlight,
Temperature.
yes, temperature,
Air.
yes, gravity,
Humidity.
yes, water, that way you take it as. Even oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients here is given under external, Nana, nutrient supply. So you also take it as nutrient supply as external or extrinsic. In growth, there was a mixing you found, but here he has given the clarity. You take nutrient supply as external or extrinsic factor. Even in growth also, you take it as extrinsic, Nana. Remove from internal because there we mentioned under internal. Then what do intrinsic? Then only two more you are left with. Hormones, which are intercellular, you can take them as synthesized at one place, moving to the other place. Can even genetic makeup, genes, which is intracellular. Finish. The growth and development chapter. Next is growth regulators, plant growth regulators, which are also called phytohormones.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Nana.
So once can you explain how development is open?
Development is open form, Nana. See, cells are being continuously added, number one. And when being added continuously, depending on the stage of development, they could give rise to different structures. When it comes to flowering stage, season, so growth activity is going on, but the bird, which is normally supposed to be a vegetative bird, becomes a floral bird. Okay, Nana?
Yes.
Like we talked about, growth is open form, development is also open type. Next should be growth regulators. Last aspect under plant physiology, Nana. Okay, Nana?
So 1 minute. Sir.
Okay. Nutrients supply. Okay, to rub off up to this, Nana?
Yes, sir.
So a new aspect within growth and development actually, plant growth regulators, in short, PGRs. That regulate the growth and development in the plant. Regulate means when required they need to promote growth, when not required they need to stop growth. As well called phytohormones or plant hormones. Or growth substances. Or chemical messengers. They are as well called. To define, these are substances or chemicals occurring in small quantities, minute quantities, and synthesized at one place, then transported to the site of their action. Site of their action. Okay, Nana? Julius von Sachs was the first to report about them. Julius von Sachs first reported that some substances are synthesized in the shoot and moving downwardly. He named them as chemical messengers. If you remember, Julius von Sachs also was associated with hydroponics, mineral nutrition chapter. Remember, Nana? Technique of hydroponics was developed by Julius von Sachs. Name again you are going to come across in relation to photosynthesis also. And now the types of growth regulators is concerned. They are categorized into 3 types, Nana. Based on their functions. There are 3 broad types based on the functions. So we try to distinguish them based on the functions and of course chemical nature wise also. So they include one, growth promoters. Two, growth inhibitors. And the third category is gaseous hormone or fruit ripening hormone. Now, these 3 categories in the flowchart form we go, Nana. 1 as to their chemical nature, 2 as to their function in common.
So don't drop that point also 1 minute.
Yes, Nana?
So 1 minute, don't drop that point. Sir.
Okay, Nana. Okay. Okay to rub up to this, Nana?
Yes, sir.
Category 1 to type within the types, then chemical nature. First category, growth promoters. Okay. That promote one, cell division, two, cell elongation, three, cell differentiation, four, pattern formation. Pattern formation in the sense like forming a palm type of tree or an umbrella shaped tree or a cone shaped tree, like that. The patterns of the shoot system formation. Even flowering, even fruiting, even seed setting, seed formation. These are growth promoters, and these include one, subtype auxins, which are chemically indole compounds. So IAA, indole acetic acid, one such example. Second category, within this category of growth promoter, the second type, cytokinins, that are mainly related to cell division induction process, like kinetin, zeatin, chemically these are purine derivatives, representing furfuryl, 6-aminopurine. Remember, Nana, it is nothing but adenine. Adenine was a type of purine, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That was nothing but 6-aminopurine. If it is 6-oxy 2-aminopurine, guanine. Two purines were adenine, guanine. So this is adenine derivative. The third within these, Gibberellins. These are terpenoid compounds. Best example is gibberellic acid. Ga3. Chemically, terpenes. Chemically, purine derivatives. Chemically, indole compounds. That's for growth promoters. And they promote growth by inducing so many things. Oh, it's 11:14. I think better we stop here now. We continue tomorrow, no problem. We have up to gibberellins and the test is on Sunday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
On Sunday, Wednesday, and then Saturday.
Yes.
So this week is full of exams. You be careful. Don't waste time, Nanu.
Yes, sir.
Those who have done can leave. We continue tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Bye, Nanu.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.